Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I know you guys are wondering what took you so long to do another wrestling vlog, and I'll tell you why. It's been some problems with having 100% capacity with fans being at shows, and I haven't been booked a lot and took a little break and yada yada yada. It's one of the reasons of many reasons, but let's just say now that we're back at doing them, and hopefully we will continue to do them. So I figured this past weekend was the best decision for me, at least, to make more content for wrestling vlogs, because I was in Glendale, West Virginia for a certain show for SCWA, so I said, why not? So it's going to be a different approach this time around. It's going to be mainly interview based, and it's going to be 3 parts of videos that I will be releasing, and hopefully you all will enjoy all the interviews that I have for this particular show. So if you guys can first do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell if you haven't already, I appreciate that. And if you have already done it, you pause the video, let's move on forward. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, get a bag of popcorn or something to munch on, and I want you guys to enjoy yourselves, because ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you interviews for SCWA's Nemesis. Okay, everybody, we got a certain guest here. We're gonna have more guests as we go through this vlog, and we have our first participant for this. And what is your name, sir?
My name is Will Knox. My ring name is Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, Will Knox, Mr. Fantastic. And how long have you been wrestling?
I've been training since June. Been wrestling since September.
Okay. Who are your favorite wrestlers that you pretty much idolized as a kid, or your favorite wrestlers like right now, or anything else like that?
Some of my favorites in the past, I would say, is Owen Hart, Lance Storm, Nick Bockwinkel, Kurt Hennig, $1 Million Man. A lot of guys that was very technical, very sound in the ring.
Okay. And while I was asking that question as well, since you have so many favorites, is there any one of them on that particular list that made you want to become a wrestler, or
Owen
the
Hart.
question? Okay, Owen Hart. So why was Owen Hart the choice that wanted you to become a professional wrestler?
Owen could do it all. You know, he could be a very serious wrestler. He could make you laugh, and you know, to me, I mean, everyone says he should have been, you know, a lot more, but to me, he got me in the door. So you know, he was a lot to me.
Okay, cool. One last question, if I could ask, maybe another one if I can think of in my head. But as far as professional wrestling today, is there anything that's missing in this era of wrestling that it didn't have in the golden age of wrestling, or the golden era, which we would say, in the attitude era, or, you know, because people like to say wrestling is just not the same. It doesn't have many attitude with certain characters and gimmicks, or people have little to no gimmicks at all. No chemistry, no charisma, no anything. So what do you think professional wrestling is missing today?
I would say a passion just for the business.
Okay.
I've been fortunate enough to, you know, been able to watch through several different, you know, the Hogan years, the golden years, the next generation, the attitude, the ruthless aggression, to, you know, to the, you know, mystery gyms, what all the, you know, the eras you want to call them. But I would just say the fans, as easy as it is to get into the cliques of, you know, I like this brand, or I like this company. I think overall, if people enjoy just the business, the genre of pro wrestling, I think it would make it a lot better. I think a lot more people are. I mean, with the internet today, and if you want to see something, you can find it.
Right.
If you want to see a specific type of wrestling, you can find it. But I think a lot more people should open their mind up a little bit more. This may not be your cup of tea, but at least learn a little bit about it, because a lot of the people that do certain things also have done other things, or now have become big in that, which they were big in something else before.
Yeah. Okay. All right, one last question. I know I said before it was the last question, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on this. If you have any advice or anything that you could tell anyone that's want to become an up-and-coming professional wrestler, if you want to tell it to the camera, you know, what advice do you have if they want to start doing this business and get this in?
Train hard, and as well, know what you want to do. Have a game plan. You know, just don't, you know, just show up to train. You got to be aggressive. You know, closed mouth don't get fed. So if you want to work on something, ask to work on it. If you want to know something, ask about it. You know, just don't just sit on your laurels and think just because I'm in training, things are just going to be given to you or taught to you.
Right.
You'll get a lot of tools and you get a lot of knowledge, but you know, you get your better experience by opening your mouth and going out and trying to do it, and you know, learning as much as you can from many different people in many aspects.
Okay. All right, that was amazing. Thank you. A couple of things. If you can tell the people your social media followings, where they can follow you at.
You can follow me on Facebook at William J. Knox or Mr. Fantastic Will Knox, as well on Instagram as Fantastic1WK.
There it is, William Knox, Mr. Fantastic. Look out for him in the professional wrestling world. He's coming. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You. All right. Thank you. All right. We have here your name.
I'm Eric Ecton.
All right, Eric Ecton, and you're from
Hagerstown, Maryland, born and raised.
Hagerstown, Maryland. So I've been watching you for quite some time, and we've also had a match or two here and there.
We duked it out a couple times.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask a couple of questions so that people may know you. If you guys do not know him, so a couple of questions I would ask.
Yeah, man.
What made you? What was the reason why you fell in love with professional wrestling?
So my journey through professional wrestling started out a little bit different. A lot of people grew up watching Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart and everything like that back in the early 90s and everything along those lines. I actually grew up in this business. I'm a second generation wrestler. My father wrestled for 13 years before me. That's how I got in.
Right.
I woke up one day and I said, "Hey Dad, I want to join the family business." From there, I went to wrestling school. I learned my craft. Now I'm teamed up with Nick Taylor in Riot City. It's all history from there, traveling up and down the East Coast, just having fun, making memories.
Right. Do you have any favorites by far in the wrestling industry, whether it's actually seen on WWE, ROH, New Japan, or maybe independent? Is there anybody that rubbed on you that made you want to start this business?
Yeah, honestly, Ruckus. Even though we got a completely different style of wrestling, he's more high flying, what's the term I'm looking for, kind of super indie, and I'm more methodical, more ground and pound, everything like that.
Right.
But people like Ruckus, people like Steen, people like BeastMan, like those guys out there are here to prove you don't need to be like 6'3", 6'4", 250 pounds, solid six-pack abs. They go out there and they break their freaking backs for people night in and night out. And you gotta just have that respect for them.
Right.
Being a big guy in this day and age, it's almost kind of like a curse, but we're just trying to make it a blessing again.
I agree. I totally agree. So, is there anything in professional wrestling that you think is lacking, missing? Because we know a lot of people like to talk about the old days, right?
Yeah.
The golden era of professional wrestling or the attitude era. And they say it's not what the game used to be, more of if there's lack of character, lack of charisma, lack of a lot of things. Because we see guys out there in the ring, but they don't have that pizzazz or anything. Is there anything that's missing in today's wrestling that you would think? Or do you think it's fine?
I don't know if I'm peeling back the curtain a little bit. Kayfabe, man.
Right.
Like, I see all these people going out, like, doing matches and everything like that, and it's cool, like, you a baby face and you're fighting another baby face, you shake hands, be gentlemen and everything like that. But when I see a heel and a baby face in the same car with each other, and that baby face posts a car selfie of everyone in the car, like, that just kills everything, man.
Right. Definitely agree.
Like, I see those two working like 6 matches together, going up and down the East Coast or going out to the Panhandle or out here in Wheeling, and it's almost kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because you put all that time, that money, that energy into driving like 5-6 hours, and then you see like the 30-40 people that bought tickets to specifically see you beat this guy who has one-upped you every single time.
Right.
Now you guys are carpooling. It's like, where's the mystique, man?
Right. There's no mystery or anything in there. It's just like everyone is just revealing like all the strategies and the tactics behind it. Because it's like, yeah, I was just in the same car with you, but I gotta fight you on the same.
Right,
the
exactly.
whole thing. So
That's
yeah,
like,
I totally agree with you.
So there was this is a shoot. There was one time where I had a baby face in the car with me, and at one point in time I was a complete freaking prick. And I was like, yeah, I'll put you in my car, it's gas money and everything like that. He took a picture and he posted on social media. I literally pulled over at the next rest stop because I needed to go use the restroom. I went, I shared that picture, and as soon as I put it up, he got so mad. He goes, Eric, why would you share this picture and put the caption, it's a pitiful moment when you had to drive your opponent to a scheduled ass whooping? Because I had to let you know, even though I put you in my car and drove you to your show, you're still getting that ass whoop. You're still getting that work.
Strong words right there. All right, we're gonna try to wrap this up. And
Yeah, man.
Not to go there here, but not to start anything. But if there's a last question that I ask, if there is any advice or anything that you can give to people that want to become professional wrestlers in the future and as of today, what exactly would you tell them?
That's so tough. I can always say, like, be in the gym 24/7.
Yeah. It's like the
go
easiest
to a
answer.
wrestling school. Like, dedicate 1,000% of your life to wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, my life is 100% wrestling. But you also just need to have fun. Like,
Okay.
I always told myself, yeah, I got into this because my dad's a wrestler and I wanted to join the family business, but I always made a promise to myself. The second I stop loving wrestling and stop having fun, that's when I'm leaving my boots in the ring. You just got to have fun with this shit.
Exactly. I agree with you tenfold. But anywho, thank you for those questions. They were very great and amazing. If you can give these people your social media followings so where I can follow you,
Yeah.
in case if people don't know who you are, you know?
Yeah, you can follow me on all social media at Eric_Ecton_HHE. And I'm on every social media.
All right. This is the humble hoodlum, Eric Ecton, sir.
All right,
thank you
take it
very
easy,
much.
man.
All
Good
right.
luck tonight.
All right. I'll
Get
try.
that belt.
I'll try. All right. All right. So now we have, who are you, sir?
I am the Beast Man.
And how long have you been doing professional wrestling?
Fortunately, I've been doing this for 16 long years, brother.
Ooh, that's a long time. So I have a couple of questions to ask you. What really excuse me if I'm messing up.
Oh, you're fine.
What made you want to start out to become a professional wrestler?
The hookers and blow. Now, in all honesty, this has been my dream since I was 5 years old. Like, of course, like everybody else, like yours probably is what you want to do for your whole life. You know what I mean? So I couldn't sit back in my house at 40 saying what if. So I had to go out there and do it when I started when I was 16 years old, and here I am right now.
So did you have any favorites growing up?
Oh, you got your Hulk Hogan's, and it depends on really how old you are. Like when I was a kid, it was Hulk Hogan. Then when I got into like my teenage years, it was Mick Foley and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And then growing up and starting out in the business, you go backwards. And like you guys got Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher, Big Van Vader, people like them. And now I just I really don't have a favorite. If I would say an all-time favorite, it would probably be Bruiser Brody.
Nah, okay. Where are promotions that you have worked previously? Because maybe some people don't know who are my subscribers on my channel. They may want to know.
Well, thankfully tonight here at SCWA, I'm wrestling in my hometown, which is actually town over, but this is like my home area. So this is the first time in about a year since I've been actually close to home and wrestle, which is good, which is kind of like a big night tonight. I'm excited about it. Anywhere else I've gone, I've wrestled for Coastal Championship Wrestling in Florida, Devotion Championship Wrestling in Salt Lake City, Utah. You also got Pele Pro Wrestling in Dallas, Texas. Down south, I work for Larry Auto Pro Wrestling Guild in Georgia. Total Psychopathic Wrestling in Knoxville, Tennessee. Innovative Wrestling in Kingsport, Tennessee. And as soon as the War Wrestling in Ohio, gotta represent my boys out there. ASWA out in Mansfield, Ohio. International Big Time Wrestling in Detroit, Michigan. That's just kind of start out until when things open back up. Then hopefully I can add a few more to the list.
Okay, pretty good. That's a pretty good resume, I'll say.
Thank you, man.
Another question, and then we're gonna wrap this up with
Sure.
the last question. Is there anything in the professional wrestling industry right now, whether it's WWE, ROH, independent, or whatever, what do you think is lacking or missing in professional wrestling today?
Storytelling. It's,
Can you elaborate?
Sure. I'm an old school guy, and what I mean by old school is I grew up watching WWE, WCW, NWA, in that era. So for me growing up, I love the old school storytelling. I love the matches. I also like the Attitude Era. Hey, show your puppy, his golf ball, or Malvina shit. But it really just depends on the generation. So like, how old are you?
28.
Okay, you're 28. So you're around the same. So you grew up around like the John Cena era, Edge era. Okay. So it really just depends on the era when you're growing up. Like for me, hey, it's always going to be a revolving door. So like 10 years from now, when people like are getting into business, and they watch the AEW when they were starting out, they're going to say their favorites were the Young Bucks and stuff like that. And they're saying that wrestling is too like they're used to the false finishes, too many false finishes in the match, and just going through with the moves. But for me, it's all about storytelling because I want to get the crowd into it. And that, to me, it's all about going out there, putting on a good show for the fans, but also have the fans be emotionally involved. So that's what, to me, that's what I mean by there's not enough storytelling in wrestling.
Okay. All right. So one last thing. There is any advice, any words of wisdom that you can give someone that wants to become a professional wrestler today, what would you give them?
Don't. Go to college, get an education before you decide to do this for a living. There's no money on the independents. There's some money, but nowadays you really got to go out and you got to hustle for yourself. I mean, expect $5, $10 paydays when you start out. You really don't get the good money until later on in, or you get signed by a major company, but you really got to bust your ass to get to that level. You know, I've been doing this for 16 years. I'm a big dude. I'm not the guy you see on TV, but I'm different than what everybody else does on the independents, so that kind of helps me out a lot. But you have to be different. That's the biggest thing in the world, is you got to be different than everybody else. So if you really want to do this, and what I mean by go to college, go get a degree. That way that you have a background in case this doesn't come through, or find a rich woman to marry. But in all honesty, if you want to do this, be different. Don't be like everybody else, because if you're going to be like everybody else, guess what? You're going to be right here, and you're never going to go anywhere else. So that's all I can really say.
All right, thank you. This is BeastMan here. If you want to tell everybody your social media following.
Sure. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, BeastManHustle.
All right, that's it. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, man.
Appreciate it. All right, and we have here, sir, who are you?
Scicend, the kingpin of Riot City's most wanted.
All right. This is also my trainer that I've started since late 2019, and he was a very great friend of mine, and he's a good teacher. And if you are in like Maryland area or somewhere close to the DMV and you want to start training for wrestling, you should go see this guy. But I wanted to ask a couple of questions.
Shoot.
Because you're very known in the independent scene. Like, what made you want to start out professional wrestling?
Man, I did not like anything like football, soccer, none of that shit. And then I saw wrestling.
Right.
I saw wrestling, and the first thing I ever remember watching was that night that Vince McMahon was like, "Hey, Stone Cold, I'm gonna fight you." And he said, "I'll fight you with one hand tied behind my back." That night, it sold me for everything.
Okay.
That was the night that I said, pro wrestling is what I want to do, and that's me.
So do you have any favorite idols that you idolized once you started wrestling?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels?
Shawn
Okay.
Michaels, hands down, easy. He's the greatest worker that has ever been around. And besides him, I'll take it, the 2000 version of Shawn Michaels is AJ Styles. So Shawn Michaels,
I agree with
AJ
that.
Styles, hands down, they are the best wrestlers, best storytellers in the world.
Okay. Because it's funny because a lot of people just had so many issues with Shawn Michaels backstage because they felt as though he pretty much couldn't get what he wanted. And, you know, if I could ask a certain question to lead up to this, do you think there has like egos will flare within the business? Like too many people just get in their heads and, you know.
Well, here's the thing. Egos will always be around.
Right.
They will always set a tone for things. Shawn Michaels, here's the thing. They said Shawn Michaels had an ego from, 95 to almost 98.
Right.
But he was still on top of the company.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, dude. He had an ego because he knew he was, the top dude in the company.
Right.
All right, so there's times when you know that you're a top dude in the company, just don't be an asshole. That's how I look at it. Just don't be an asshole. But he was the top dude. He was just an asshole about it. But then he came back, 2003, and he went there and he put over Jericho, JBL, all these dudes, and he built all these dudes up and gave them a great run.
Right.
And that was, to me, honestly, I love Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. That was his best run.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree.
But he knew when he fucked up, and he realized that, and he said, all right, I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to give back to the business. They gave me everything in my life, and I fucked it up, and I'm going to give back.
All right, cool.
So that's the way I look at it.
All right, so next question. In the professional wrestling business, do you think there's a lack of character or a lack of productivity and work? What's really lacking in professional wrestling today that's not what it used to be? Since so many people have conversations that, wrestling is not the same as the golden era, like WWE, or it's not like the Attitude Era.
I mean, to me, I feel like the lacking of that is it's the kayfabe. It's the guys, like, if you and I work tonight,
right,
and I'm a heel and you're okay, if I'm a bad guy and he's a baby face and a good guy, and I beat him up, and then you go and see us chilling out at Chili's,
right,
like that's lacking, okay? But it's so relaxed now that nobody really cares. But I feel like fans, they know this already,
right.
So like it kind of just doesn't matter. But it's to me, it's more personally on the storytelling thing, and it's storytelling for the matches, where they just go out there and it's just, and nobody sells, you know what I'm saying? And they don't portray what's going on in said match. That's, to me, like, like, they get it. People understand that we are not, you know what I'm saying? But like, we go out there, like, we can hang out, we can go have a beer afterwards, but it's what happens during the match while they're sitting in their seats,
right,
and they realize that we were beating each other up.
Right.
Dude, if I hit you with something big and then you just kick out at one, like, what the fuck, dude? Come on. Like, you're burying finishes now. Shawn Michaels, for fucking years, ended people with a super kick, and now you have the Young Bucks, and which I love, are fucking hitting 17 super kicks during the match, and nobody's dying on it.
Well, I know there have been, like, many incidents where people have revealed the kayfabe, but I think, and he's one of my favorite wrestlers, by the way, when Austin Aries had a match with John Morrison, I believe it was a pay-per-view taping or pay-per-view.
You're talking about
the championship match.
Yeah, when he got up and said "fuck you."
Yeah, like, and he was my favorite wrestler, and I know he had so much
animosity.
Yeah, and that just really ruined it for me, especially since we're having a conversation about kayfabe itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just way too many people just disrespecting the business that a lot of us love.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
It's just like,
it's just terrible, and it makes the company that looks bad, and you wonder why people that are not much fans, but they're casual fans, they really diss.
They don't understand. Like, I don't know if he said, I know Eric Ecton, who did an interview with you earlier, but I know Eric. To me, Eric did a match with Jeremy Grimes, Showtime, and when he went to the show, Jeremy put up a picture of them going to the show together, and they were wrestling each other. And Eric's comment back on the picture was, "Yeah, it's funny when you gotta drive your opponent to the show so you can beat his ass,
right,
and he's gonna sleep in the car seat on the way home." And I'm like, well, like that's cool. Like you brought it back. Like, yeah, you're riding there, but you brought it back.
Right.
So like, it's one of those things. Like, you just gotta figure out how to do it. And I'm just so tired of people burying finishes and stuff like that. Like, it's too much. Like, oh, that, you hit a goddamn fucking diamond cutter, and it's like one kick out. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I watched Diamond Dallas Page in 1998 fucking end somebody with that in like 2 seconds. Like, what the fuck are you doing? But it is 2021, and I guess we're trying to, again, we evolved the wrestling business, and we have evolved it a lot since then, because you gotta remember, we evolved it from what we did to like the ECW style, and it was more relaxed, and they're doing chairs, and we're doing that now, and so like, you just gotta evolve it. But I just feel like it's at a weird place, and I feel like people are just, they're not understanding now.
Okay. Very good.
That's how I feel it.
Very good answer. You very elaborated on it very well.
Yeah,
and,
maybe too much. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I apologize.
All of this is very needed because you never know who's watching. But
yeah.
We're pretty much going to wrap this up.
Yeah.
So, is there anything that you can tell the people here, if they wanted to become professional wrestlers right now, this very second? Do you have any advice or words of wisdom that you want to put onto these people, just in case in the future?
My biggest thing I'll tell you is have a tough skin.
Okay.
You know this.
Yeah.
You've been in this.
And why is that?
You are gonna get criticism. You're gonna get criticism on what you do. People are not going to like what you do. They're going to criticize your character, and
Right.
they're going to try to tell you how to fix it.
Right.
And if you do not have a tough skin and know how to listen and adapt to that, you're going to sit at home and cry in a tub. Like, literally, that's what it is, dude. Like, I've seen it happen. You know this.
Yeah.
You've been at training. We've
Yeah.
watched this happen.
Yeah.
Like, he can tell you stories. We've watched this happen. I've literally watched people cry off of me telling them, like, that does not work for you. And
You gotta
that's
switch
it.
up.
But, yeah, you
It's
got to
part of
change
the
it up.
business. Yeah, you gotta take what you can get. So,
That's just what it is, dude.
so that'll pretty much wrap it up. This is Riot City's own Nick Scicend Taylor, and you can follow. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was like, you follow me on all the social media that
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
I'll try.
okay.
To, but
Yeah.
if he's in a town, state, anywhere near you, check him out. He's one of the greatest, man. Been doing this for over how long?
12 years now.
12 years.
We're going on 13.
12 years.
So,
Thank
dude,
you very
thank
much,
you,
sir.
bro. Take care. Yo, follow this dude.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
They're doing this shit. See that? They're like, yo, we are wrestling tonight.
What he was about to say is follow me on social
Yeah,
media.
I said follow him on social media.